We're creating a contour across the landscape, and then once we've done that, we're going to use this material to weave in between the stakes to make a very obvious line in the landscape. This little contraption is called an A-frame, and it's really basic technology to work out level ground. So we've got a pendulum, we've got a marking at halfway between two equidistant posts. By walking it across the landscape, we can actually see where the level is. So we can create a series of points that are exactly at the same point on the landscape, and then once you step away you can see that that's the contour line. But we've had Annie Dye here talking to us about making string and showing us some techniques, and also just sort of been talking about the function of a contour in the landscape, so how that works to distribute water if you can work using it for regenerative principles. We're using materials that have been cut with the scything workshop that they're doing over the other side. This grass is called Phragmites australis. It's also known as reed. It's quite a keystone species in holding together floodplain landscapes. Once there's sufficient sediment and enough water in the landscape, it will take off. So you can see it's quite a vascular plant. It has segments, and so it's very good at transporting water up and down, so it holds water in the landscape. So that's why it's really beneficial. And it can survive quite well in drought conditions as well. What we're doing now is we're binding it together. There's lots of other weaving techniques we could use, but they'll probably take a little bit too long. So at the moment we're using a twine to bind it together and to make just a really long line, which we're going to highlight the contour with. It's going to sit across the landscape and be lit for a month, just so it starts a little bit of conversation in the community. This is the site where we're going to build the community sculpture. So using this as a basis for where it's sited. And then everybody's going to come down with the circles we've been making, and we'll bind them together in a great community ephemeral sculpture that will break down in situ because it's only made out of natural materials, and it will actually have a pragmatic influence in the landscape. So it will work like some banded vegetation. It will help to distribute water from the overflow for a dam that's just up behind us, and hopefully it will establish a new range of plants. So